What is a legal action plan and why would you want one anyway? Well, think about it like this. If you are going shopping and you're really hungry and you don't have a shopping list, you know what's going to happen? Maybe you need three things to perfect your dinner. And you go into the store and you come out with 27 things, and some of them you didn't need. Some of them you paid more for than you would have because you were hungry, you didn't have a plan. And then what happens, you get home and you've only remembered two of those vital three ingredients because you didn't have a list. Running a business is something similar to that. In our business, people advise on all sorts of plans, things like business plans. And I know not everybody has one. For many, many years, my business didn't have a business plan and it worked just fine. Marketing plans, those kinds of things, not everybody's got one. But when you do have a marketing plan, then your marketing can get on track. And that old adage, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail, that really is true. And I think it is true, particularly when it comes to business plans. And the importance of the legal action plans. The importance of the legal action plan is that it helps you identify areas of risk. It helps you work out what legal things you need to cover in your business. And once you've done that, you can actually tick them off because you don't have to do all the legalities in one go. You don't have to comply with everything at the very, very beginning, depending on the type of business that you're running. But usually, when we start a work from home business, we can get up and going and then chip away at those legal items. The problem is that if you don't know what to plan for, you could end up having a disaster. And so that's all the legal action plan is. It talks about the most common risks small businesses face on the legal side of things and how to avoid them. Some things are easy and you can do them yourself. Some things are easy but you have to pay a lawyer to do them for you. Whatever the case is, as if you make an informed decision not to have a particular legal protection, then at least you know where you stand in your business and it's not going to come crashing down on you as a shock and a surprise at some later stage. So that's the beauty and the benefit of the legal action plan, because then you can have some certainty and knowledge that you're secure, that you know what it is, what legal steps you need to take to keep your business safe and bulletproofed. So in this course, I run through with you some of the most costly and certainly the most common legal business mistakes that I see on a day-to-day basis with clients coming to me in crisis. And you get a little bit of a taste of those, you get a little bit of knowledge about those, and then at the end of the course is when you complete the checklist, and that will develop for you or show you or produce the legal action plan at the end. Obviously, you're not obliged to then go and fix everything, but it's like taking your car to the mechanic, I suppose. They might tell you that in 2 years' time, you're going to need new brakes, or in 6 months' time, you might need new tires. And if you don't do it, you're driving around at your own risk. The legal action plan is something similar to that. At least you know your risks, your options, potential costs of getting things fixed now or leaving them till later. The good thing about prevention is better than cure is certainly true in the legal side of your business, because it really is often very much more economical to get things squared away and right from the beginning than if you find yourself in a legal dispute later. Now, will this legal plan, ironclad your business? Will it make sure that there never ever is any problem on the legal side of things? No. We can't guarantee that there will never be a legal risk or never be a legal problem. But what it does is it highlights the most common and, in my experience, the most costly legal mistakes that small business owners make. And many of them have got really simple fixes, and some you can do yourself. The other advantage of getting things right from the start is that you avoid the stress and distraction of legal disputes and problems later on. And you can't underestimate how stressful and distracting a legal problem can be. I actually had one client who, she had a dispute about design ownership. And in her situation, I said to her, look, you are so creative. Honestly, Caroline, I suggest that you, although I think you're right in that you do own the designs, I think you're so creative. If it was me, I would just give the designs away to the other person, even though they're in the wrong, and then start again, because it won't take you very long to create new designs that are even better. Unfortunately, she was so emotionally attached to the designs that she didn't want to let them go. And her friend, former friend, sued her. They got into a big legal argument. In the end, she couldn't afford to keep going with it. She was so distracted from running her business that she couldn't get enough income to keep her going. And it was actually a very sad outcome. She lost her house, she lost her friend, she lost her business, and it was absolutely dreadful. And so it was unfortunate that she hadn't secured her legal rights to start with and hadn't had a proper agreement in place with a friend to start with. If she had done that, there wouldn't have been not only the financial devastation, but that stress that was associated with it. And so an action plan to start with is sensible. When you think about how much time, money, and effort you spend or you invest in your business, investing in a legal action plan and just ticking the things off it as you go along is a very wise investment. And most successful businesses don't leave the legal side of things to chance, and neither should you. So I'm looking forward to working with you, working through these modules. If you've got questions, ask me questions in the comments. And at the end, you're going to have an amazing legal action plan, which will also include a risk assessment. All the very best with it. My name is Cathryn Warburton, and I am the Legal Lioness.